I'm like, how am I homeschool? Like, this one thing I like, if I start my YouTube video literally from the beginning, and I already said like I had difficulties in school, especially with reading and spelling. I was always great at math, but reading and spelling, like, it was very hard for me. And then I would get in trouble for when I would talk because, according to my mom and her husband, I always had a fresh mouth. I always had something to say back. That's probably why my second oldest always got something back to say, because that's her 100%. Like, she got an answer for everything you have to say. So I stay quiet a lot of times. That's why I'm so observant, because I always used to get in trouble for talking. So that's already in the back of my mind. You know what I'm saying? Like how I'm gonna be able to teach my daughters or whatever. But I remember, because this all ties into my autistic daughter. I remember I remember Nancy telling me that her sister, because she stayed with her mom, her sister, and her niece. And her niece is autistic too, like high function like my daughter, but she still be having like her episodes. She has meltdowns, and just like my daughter, like, she still poops on herself too, like, and she's 11 right now. So she has like months, especially like she goes months where she does that sometimes. And it was so, that's why I said like my relationship with Nancy wasn't bad at all. It's just that she was very negative a lot of times. And even when I really wanted to keep her in my life, but she was just a negative person. And by the time I got really peaceful in my life, I just had to cut her off. And I was telling her how my daughter was still doing it. She was like, oh yeah, that's normal, because her niece does it. And at that time her niece was like, because at that time my daughter was like 8, 9 years old, and her niece was like 12, 13. So she was like, yeah, that happens every once in a while. And she won't say nothing. She'll just go in the corner where you won't smell her until she comes around. I'm like, my daughter does the same thing. Like, so, but she was telling me how hard it was for her niece to be in school too. So they had to homeschool her. So she does all her work online, but she didn't stay in Hillsborough County. She stayed in Pasco County, which is 2 different counties. So I'm like, how am I gonna do that? Because it was even hard for me to do it during the pandemic. Because you have to make sure they log on every day and all that other stuff. And I steady gotta be at this computer. So seeing the whole thing with Derek Grace II, and I'm watching all of this, I'm like, I'm still a single parent. Like, at this time I wasn't getting child support. So I have no other income coming in beside my job. So I was like, there's no way I could do that. So now here it comes to her having all these behaviors at school. So the last time when she has this real bad behavior, she ends up, I go pick her up, and mind you, usually when she has like really bad days or whatever, even with the other kids, they hate going to school. My second oldest, she loves going to school because she's like a social butterfly. She likes to make friends. So I used to have to bribe them. Like, I'll get you your candy, I'll get you chips and all that other stuff. Because now with, I'm not going to blame it on Donovan, but with my autistic daughter coming, it's hard for me to get sleep. So a lot of times they will miss school, because then I'll fall asleep right when my alarm going off, hit the snooze button. It's already 9 o'clock. I got to be to work at 9:30. Like, I'm not going to be able to get everybody ready. So with the last situation, I ended up telling her, like, she's not getting her snacks, she's not getting her chocolate, because she's been bad, she's been hitting or whatever. So as we're driving home, and this is when I'm driving both cars, the red car and the new SUV. So as I'm driving, and mind you, I'm so happy there was no car behind. She's sitting in the front seat. She got so mad. She I don't know how she did it, but she hit the shifting gear and put it on neutral in the middle of me driving. So I, of course, like, why you trying to kill us? So I told her teacher the next day, because she would do that just so she would, because she knew, like, when I found out she was hitting other students, I would keep her home like the next day or the next 2 days until she could calm down, and then I would bring her to school. So autistic kids are very smart, so they can. And then, you know, she was home for almost 2 years, and she liked the dynamic of being home. Autistic kids get used to a routine. So I guess she figured out all she has to do is act up in school, and then she would stay home. Because a lot of times when I would get her up, she was like, no, she want to stay home. She want to stay home. She want to stay home. That's when I would have to go pick her up early. So after she did that, I told the teacher, like, look, she tried to kill us the other day. Like, if she's not going to school, she's not gonna go to school. And after a while, they just understood that, because I even had to go to her pediatrician too. And when they switched her medicine, it made her more aggressive. So I ended up taking her completely off the medicine. Because one of the medicine helped her sleep at nighttime. But then she was on that since she was like 5. So by the time she's like in 2nd grade, that did not work anymore. Then they put on Ritalin after that. And you would think me working a group home all them years back, I would remember I needed to give it at least 6 weeks. But her just trying to, I was like, yo, I can't keep going through this. She's people at home, let her be at home. So they was like, you know, that's okay. Just if she just need more time to rest, just bring her in late or pick her up early. We tried that, and it still didn't work. She just wanted to be home. So this particular day, she's having a real bad meltdown. I'm at work. Usually when I could just go out there 5 minutes, and I'll say, hey, you're not gonna get your snack tomorrow, and she'll calm down. But if you have autistic kids, you know that meltdown, nothing works. So this day she was not hearing it. Like, usually she's good until the weekend. Like, I could deal with her meltdowns on the weekend because, you know, I'm there. I can, like, watch her and, you know, like, have her sit down. But I had to work. So this day she was going off. I don't know what her sister, because them last 3, boy, they be fighting over the stupidest thing, yelling over the stupidest things they be fighting over.